Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now a toss play to Bernard. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a carry for Bernard. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. High five, baby. High five. Let's go. Here we go. Hey, 20. Hey, baby, go.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Complete to Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there was a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He's going to let one go deep for Park. And got his man complete. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it here with Bernard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Bernard. Oh, he did it again. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Go!
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll run here with Bernard. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Whitney Merciless in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. That's pulled in at the 32. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete here. Trying to get it that time to Stills, and it's 3rd and 5.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And that's incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. The gun, they'll look to throw, and he fires one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Tannehill on 1st down. He drops it off for Bernard. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. That is caught in the 7. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really good pickup. 28 yards.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Giovanni Bernard, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Left side completion to Jones. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. We'll come back to Miami after this. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out come the Dolphins now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Tannehill. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Hey. Let's go. 28.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
triple left. Where we at? Ready, hot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Zebra.
Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down. It's caught, Stills, right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Now Tannehill. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside and told the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you can just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon, now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he tried to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught by Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Broncos in their hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This from 42 yards out. And McManus had a little too much slice on it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Back in that Philly. Here we go.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. You got to keep pounding away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Tannehill. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure right. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line. And they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And McManus able to put it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill on the left side. This is Stills. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. He hits Riddick underneath. Muscling free near the 40. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And they convert on third with a gain of 22.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll run it now out of the gun. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Sanders' kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Sanders now to add the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Broncos coming out now. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And his throw is incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's a give to Richard. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. They're going to look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Oh, that's true. You said that before. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, here's Bernard. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Again, it's Balaj. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Let's go. Get set, get set. Right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run again with Bernard. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Emmanuel Agba in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it's looking like the Dolphins are going to win the football game. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here.
Let's go.
Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Dolphins, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our
Oh.